Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia. It's Monday Night Football. That means me and Scott Bogman. We're going to break down the slate for you tonight. What's going on between the Packers and the Rams? I know, you can hardly contain yourself for this juggernaut offensive between these two teams going at it to the death to obviously impact nothing really in terms of the playoffs. Pretty much nothing, at least at this point. But Scott Bogman, it's football nonetheless. And it's a chance for us to make some more money. It was a crazy weekend of football between the greatest comeback in history and the oddest finish in history. Bogman texts me and goes, "Oh, that was crazy." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, the end of the Patriot game. You didn't see it?" I said, "Nope. I was taking care of sick kids, watching Christmas movies with them." And I looked around and on the Twitter machine, there it was. Horrendous. But what are you going to do, Boggs?
At least we got a crying apology from Jacoby Myers. Lordy.
Yeah. Well, he forgot. He thought Chandler Jones still played on the same team as him. That was a problem.
Yeah, and it was Chandler Jones and McDaniels all against their former team. Like it was an appropriate ending. We'd be talking about that game if not for the Colts blowing the biggest lead in NFL history with Jeff Saturday at the helm. And then the snow game on Saturday night was unbelievable as well. So,
it was a
lot of crazy action. The Cowboys obviously went into overtime. The Chiefs had to beat the Texans in overtime. Like a lot of close, weird games, man. It was a lot of fun this weekend. So that makes for a Monday Night Football game that's going to be amazing. Of course,
it's
going to be great,
man. I hope it is. There's a part of me that really wants to put money on the Rams just to watch the world burn. I told you.
No way. It's like 35-3. No way.
Hey, it's 2022, man. Anything can happen. And believe me, I'm here for it. The Rams upsetting the Packers in Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers' face, I'd pay money just to see that. But I see all of our friends in the chat. Sam is here. Yo, Joe and Boggs. I love the hair that's going on with Boggs. It's getting to an incredible level right now, this hair of yours. It's
getting to the point where I'm deciding, like, do I want to grow it again? Or am I going to get it cut?
It's magnificent.
I may just want to grow it again. So we'll see. It's like a lot more gray and you can't tell.
I don't know.
There's a lot more.
I don't care if it's gray or not. If I could grow hair like that, that is magnificent. You look, like I said, it's like, I'm pretty sure you were in Cannonball Run. I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2, but it was 1.
I look like Santa Claus's son is what I look like right now.
Scotty Claus. Scotty Claus.
That's right.
Is here too. Yeah, that's right. Let's make some fun picks so this game is watchable tonight. That's exactly the point. So let's get after it. Let's start with the news. Just get everybody up to date. Sammy Watkins was released today by the Packers, just in case you cared about that. And obviously that is the biggest news out of Green Bay today, which tells you where things are at with all of them. When looking at the Rams, obviously a little bit of a different story. We have Aaron Donald, who is out for week 15. Baker Mayfield will indeed start tonight. We'll see how Matt Gay is after missing a field goal in week 14 and continuing to look ahead for the Rams because you can't look back at this year. Now, this game right now, Green Bay 5-8, the Los Angeles Rams 4-9. The Packers on the expert consensus betting line at Betting Pros are minus 7.5 point favorites. It feels about right here. It moved back between 7.5. You get it at 7. I think it's better than the 7.5 personally.
Yeah, you don't want
39.5 is the over under plus 295 on the money line for the Rams. So Boggs, what do you make of the lines tonight?
I'm gonna go against you, Joe. I know you love to watch the world burn. You love to see.
I didn't say I was going to. I said I would like to. I would like
to.
Okay.
I can't do it. I just think that the Packers are mathematically still alive. They're not dead. They're probably not making the playoffs, but they're not dead. So I think they show up to beat the Rams. The Rams are dead. I know we're giving more time to Baker. I think it was a special thing he did last Thursday. It was a lot of fun to watch. But if you watch that last drive, I mean, it's not like they made that happen and made it look easy. They made it look difficult the entire way. So I expect a lot of that today. So I'm going to roll with the Packers. I'm going to take the over too, because I think the Packers put up a decent amount of points in this game.
All right. So decent enough that we can get over 40. That's what we have to get to. So they
35-14, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of credit to the Rams. All right.
35-6 might do
I love
it.
this. I love where our boy Nick is at. He's up against Jones in fantasy. Should I take the anytime touchdown to help ease the pain if he goes off? I'm not against this. Look, especially with Aaron Donald out, I'm not against that. There's another anytime touchdown that I know I love today. I think
Yup.
Jasmine is already there. Spoiler alert, more to come on that in a little bit. But let's continue on here. Let's talk about Scott Bogman's props and the anytime touchdown plus 140 for Christian Watson. Where are we going to start? I bet this morning. I had my tea and I sat down for the BP show and I immediately went to see what this number was, and I couldn't believe it was still plus money. So yeah, plus 140. I'm in. The guy's had like 8,000 touchdowns in the last 6 games.
He scored in 4 straight games leading into this game. So he's turning into Chris Carter, right? All he does is catch touchdowns. And I mean, I know the way that this is going to work too, because I need him to go crazy in one league to win. And I need him to do nothing in another league to win. So he'll do just enough to thread the needle there. So I'm expecting like 50 yards and a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like he won't go crazy because that would win me a league, but he also won't do nothing because that would win me a league. So it'll be firmly in the middle, but I do think he gets in the end zone, and they just move him around so much. You know, it's not going to be like Ramsey's not going to be shadowing him. They're going to be moving him.
Even
like
if Ramsey was shadowing him, Jalen Ramsey cannot catch Christian Watson in any sort of foot race, period. End of story. Like, I've watched Jalen Ramsey this year enough, and I've seen Christian Watson enough. It ain't close in terms of what we're talking about with these guys in a foot race. I think you're trying to do everything you can to keep Jalen Ramsey away from him, to be honest with you.
I mean, look, that's included as well. So I just think that they don't really match up well against Watson. They've been moving Watson around well on offense. Run the ball and throw to Watson is all they can do right now. So I think he does get in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm all in on this one. I mean, just look at that game log too. It's stunning. 3 touchdowns week 10, 2 in week 11. He had, 3 in week 11. Then he had another receiving touchdown in week 12, and then he had 2 more touchdowns in week 13. I mean, the guy's it's unbelievable. He's really just taken off, and good for him, man. It's great. It's great to see. It's a late bloomer. A lot of people left him for dead here. What was that other guy? Romeo Dobbs. Remember him? Remember when everyone talked about Romeo Dobbs? I haven't seen that guy in weeks. I don't even know.
He's been hurt. Yeah. I mean, luckily for them, Dobbs worked early and Watson is working late. So seems like they could have 2 pieces. It'd be amazing if they could get them, on fire together. But not holding the candle out for hope of that. Watching these Packers this season. So it's been bad the whole way through.
Here's fun from Louigo. I don't know. Louigo 07. Hey guys, what do you think of the over on the plus 1.5 field goals for the Rams?
I mean, I usually hit this one, but I'm not taking the Rams to make 2 field goals. No, I mean, didn't you just say Matt Gay is on the
well, he's not hurt, but he did come off a game where he missed some, so I'm just kind of, whenever you got a guy who's going out to the elements to, he's used to kicking inside that dome in LA. It's a lot different when you're kicking in the cold in the middle of
I think he went to college at Utah. So I can't remember exactly where he went. But I mean, I don't, you don't really consider the weather until you do. I mean, Justin Tucker missed 2 on Saturday. You know what I mean? Because it was
one was blocked, wasn't it?
One was blocked and he shanked the other one. So, but that was within 50. Like, and Justin Tucker doesn't miss those. That's that's where we are. So like outdoors in the cold, I don't think I want to mess with the over on field goals there. So
I see our friend Weil is in the chat too, and he's talking about the Rams, talking about Baker Mayfield. Look, man, I told you, just throw $5 on it just for fun, just to watch, just because it'll make you smile. Let's go to the next one on your list. AJ Dillon, 45.5 rushing yards. It's minus 120. You're taking the over on this, Boggs. Let's talk about this because it feels like he's getting a lot more use lately, and it certainly feels like this is an opportunity where you think game script means the Packers are up, and the interior line is an absolute mess for the Rams. That's a good combination.
That's really what it is. So it's the combo of, not just game script that they should be up and running in the 3rd, 4th quarter, but also Aaron Jones isn't at, he's playing and he's not on the injury report, but he's not 100%. So they've been going to AJ Dillon a little bit more and using Aaron Jones. He's their leading receiver right now, which is not a surprise based on how they've gone this year. But AJ Dillon's been getting run. It's cold. This is AJ Dillon time. This is what he did at Boston College, was run the ball down everybody's throat. It's what he's built for. You've seen his giant thighs. He's built for this weather. This is why they drafted him for right now. So I think against a Rams team that is basically, they got their big win last week. They're kind of packing it in for the winner at this point. I think Dillon goes off.
All right, so A.J. Dillon on the list. Cam Akers, over 54.5 rushing yards, minus 115. You've got this one too. I can only assume it's also because, look, it's a good trend, number one. But number two, you have to support Baker Mayfield here and run the football.
You have to, and you have to also not go 3 and out on every single drive. And what did the Packers do terribly? They're 30th in the league against the run. So Akers, it's always hard picking between Akers and Kyron because they seem to be randomly flipping a coin or throwing a dart or whatever it is to figure out who's going to be the starter for this team. I'm going to go with Akers because last week it was Akers. You look pretty good. Packers are bad against the run. And like I said, that game script, if you pass the ball, if you get down quick and pass the ball too much, I mean, this game script is going to be bad. It's going to be a lot of time of possession for the Packers. You're keeping that, indoor defense outdoors on the field a lot. It's all not good. So like you said, you have to support Baker. You have to run the ball effectively against a team that can get run on. So I think Akers gets the majority of this, but we might be praying for it in the third and fourth quarter, like with one big rip. So it'll be annoying, but I think he'll get there.
Yeah, I like that more than
which
this
is every
one.
prop.
This next one, I'm a little on the fence. I know where you're coming from. 34.5 receiving yards for Van Jefferson. You're liking the over. It's at minus 115. It's close for me. I just have a hard time investing in anything Rams other than Akers. I like the Akers one. I think that's a great. And I think that the defensive one you got lined up next is really good too. But sell me on Van Jefferson because I need a little sell job here on him because I just can't get around Baker Mayfield's ineptitude. And I know he's had more time in the playbook. I just don't care.
So here's the thing. Van Jefferson is on the field more than anyone. So his snap percentage was higher. He runs more routes than anyone on that team too, even Skornick. So I think he's going to do that again. And when you have a guy that's on the field first, you have a guy that is finally healthy and working with Baker the whole week. I mean, I don't think Baker having a whole week and a half. Remember, he got there 2 days before last Thursday and won that game. So he's had like 10 days total or whatever it is to get ready for this game too. He's not looking off his first look many times. And Van Jefferson should be that first look most plays. If he's on the field more, he's the number one. He's running more routes than anybody else. In practice, he probably had the most rapport with Baker Mayfield. So we're just looking at what is the first read. I think most of the time it's going to be Van. So I'm going to go with Van to get that plus game script. If they're down, they'll be throwing the ball to everybody late. So I think Van can get there.
All right, let's get to the last one here on Boggs' list, which is Bobby Wagner, 8.5 tackles and assists, minus 105. You got the over here. This one I like a lot. This one is probably my favorite besides the Christian Watson anytime touchdown, plus 140.
I mean, if this does turn into 40-20 in terms of time of possession, that Rams defense is going to be on the field a lot. Ernest Jones is less than 100%. He's playing, but he's less than 100%. So there's not too much of fear of him eating up and getting one of those crazy 16 tackle games or something like that. So, I think Wagner goes out there and gets a ton of tackles. A lot of A.J. Dillon versus Bobby Wagner in the third and fourth quarter.
Because of that possibility of the score you're talking about, a time of possession you're talking about, it's really tough on the Aaron Rodgers individual props. I don't see anything there that I really like. They all feel very just kind of there.
I just don't trust them. Yeah.
Right. And it's the trust factor of if we think it's gonna be a run heavy game too. AJ Dillon, I really like that one. The Aaron Jones 55.5 rushing yards, I think is perfectly fine. Also, I think that's something you can attack if you want to. He's got 20.5 receiving yards.
I debated between that one, the Aaron Jones rushing and the AJ Dillon rushing.
They're both look, honestly, I think they're both overs, to tell you the truth. I think you're gonna see both go over to that.
The only thing that scares me about Aaron Jones at all is if this game really gets away, because you could see it really getting away. If it really gets away, then it's gonna be a lot of AJ Dillon. Lots of AJ Dillon. Because Aaron Jones was banged up last week.
The Tutu Atwell stuff, the stuff here with the rest of these receivers outside of, and Christian Watson, somebody you can't even look at totals. You're just looking for touchdowns. Like that's what you're looking at here. And the tight ends are not really appealing either. So what I've decided to do is go a whole different route. I want to ask you this: Rasul Douglas, plus 410 for an interception. Jair Alexander plus 410 for an interception. You like either of those two on the 4-1 money?
I mean, you have to take Razul on that one because he's got a nose for the football for sure. Problem with Razul is he gets a lot of his picks in the end zone, and I don't see Baker throwing into the end zone many times. So
you never know. But I'm looking at those and I'm
guys.
thinking, hey, 4-1 on those two
options.
guys. Those are really strong options with a guy who likes to be reckless with the football historically. Baker Mayfield loves to throw balls that his body can't catch. That's just what he does. It's what he did in college. You can get away with that crap in college. You can't get away with the NFL. To me, outside of the props you named there, and I love 4 out of the 5 of them, this is how you make some big money on this game tonight. It's either Alexander or Douglas. I'm kind of with you on Douglas too. I think that's a fun one there. I mean, look,
I can't wait to text
you.
you.
$5, you make $20 on that. Like that's an easy one.
I got to text you when Van Jefferson gets to 35 yards. I'm all over texting you. So excited about it because you like all of them but one. So 34.
I like one. If you get all 5,
I'm looking for.
I'll always give you the props, and if that last one doesn't, I'm gonna give you the business.
Look, I
on my own predictions. That's what I'm doing.
He's choking on his own hubris here. I'll give you. You sound like the Verklempt lady from Saturday Night Live, Mike Myers.
Give you a topic.
It's neither a chick nor a
Christian Watson is neither Christian nor Watson. Discuss.
Oh Lordy. Oh my God, we have fun. Look, I just hope this is a game where nobody gets hurt and we can keep our Christian Watsons and Aaron Jones and AJ Dillons into the next round of the fantasy playoffs. But there is some money to be made, and we're trying to make this game entertaining in case it does get away. This feels like the Thursday game. The Thursday game is going to be great.
Oh,
Jacksonville and the Jets. It's going to be amazing.
Boggs, I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there somebody talking all week about how Jacksonville was going to beat the Dallas Cowboys? Who was that
man?
Handsome bald man who was talking about that.
What a call.
It was this guy. Let's go. Trevor Lawrence with the long hair.
Trevor Lawrence is on fire.
Doesn't he look good? Dude, I had him in the startup dynasty league this year, and I'm the worst team in the league this year, but I've got a lot of good pieces. I made a lot of good trades, trade all my pieces away. I said, look, first year I'm going to suck. That's fine. But I've got Trevor Lawrence. I got Jamar Chase. I've got Kyle Pitts. I got a team ready to go. And
Bijan declared today.
And I got the number 1 pick. So you know what that means? Bijan. Let's go, baby. All right. I wish there were more exciting things besides what we talked about tonight. But as Bogman said, Thursday is going to be hot. Bogman not going to be here on Thursday, though. He's got some stuff to take care of. So Friedman's going to join us for that show. But in the meantime, tonight, it's Monday Night Football. Go enjoy it. Have some fun. Maybe throw $5 on the Rams just because, like I might. But other than that, Christian Watson, we talked about him, Bobby Wagner, looking at Douglas, looking at Cam Akers, AJ Dillon. Those are some of the things we like in tonight's game. I would stay away from some of the lines and just go with the individual players. I think it's a safer route tonight. So enjoy the Monday Night Football festivities. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Peace.
See you.